Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Bust podcast. I'm your host, Shoot the Rock. I'm here with my boy Matt. How we doing today, Matt?
Oh, well, we don't want to know how I'm doing today. But outside of school stuff, I'm doing good. I had a good day at work. Got a $50 gift card from one of the
Oh,
parents. That was pretty cool.
there you
Yeah, that
go.
was
There you
pretty. That
go.
was definitely an uplifter in the day. But other than that, just a little bit of a stressful week ahead of me. But other than that, it's been an all right day. How about you, Derek?
Chilling, hanging in there. Had a pretty good first weekend of the tournament here. Pretty good St. Patrick's Day weekend. Definitely got out and celebrated pretty much all day Saturday, so it was a good time. And then, just hung
That's
out
good.
Sunday, watched some games. Watched the Baseball Classic last night. Tough result for the Americans, but other than that, just kind of been hanging out watching sports. It's the best time of the year for that.
That is a fact.
So yeah, talking about March Madness here. That's where we're gonna start again this week. We're gonna touch a little bit on some things from this first weekend that we watched, we enjoyed, and then get into our picks for this upcoming weekends. We got Sweet 16, Elite 8, getting down to the top teams here in the country. So we're going to start in the number one overall seed, Alabama's region, in the South here. So in the Sweet 16 has Alabama, San Diego State, and then Creighton against Princeton. So, Matt, what is your big boom team or game from the first weekend here in the South region?
It's got to be that Princeton win over Arizona early on in one of the first couple games throughout the tournament. And wow, just Princeton upset Arizona in what a crazy fashion. Yeah, that really caught my eye. And then they go on into the second round and they wiped the floor with Missouri. I watched that whole entire game. That game was on the big screen in my room, and there was not a single time that I thought Missouri had a chance in that game outside of the opening tip-off. Princeton has looked really good, which is crazy because I wish we could plug my clip in here of the take that I said about them about a week and a half ago, saying, yeah, Princeton's kids study books, Arizona's kids study buckets. That was a bad take. Oh my God. Princeton gave Arizona buckets and they gave Missouri buckets. I'm interested to see what they'll do against Creighton if they can keep up this mojo. It has been a little 4-day break, so that could kind of kill it sometimes. But yeah, Princeton is definitely my boom team. Wow, I was shocked when I saw them beat Arizona.
I mean, yeah,
How
I,
about
I,
you?
I cut that clip up and put it out on Twitter immediately on Thursday because that was just what I thought of. That was such a weird game, too, because a lot of times in these,
Yeah.
15 upsetting the two, it'll be like the 15 will go on, this big run to, come and win the game. It was like, no, they were just two, pretty equal teams, and then Princeton just kind of took it at the end.
Yeah.
And then, yeah,
Yep.
I didn't. I can be honest. Yeah, like I said, I was kind of busy on Saturday, and I saw that score.
Mhm.
I had it on the TV, but I wasn't watching it very closely because I
Mhm.
was more tuned in the Kansas game. Because yeah, I mean
Yep.
Princeton, they're just in control, and now once again, third straight year, we have a 15 seed in the
See
Sweet
the in
16.
that's yeah, that's
So I don't know. I'm definitely be picking one in a lot of my brackets next year, and watch that's when it'll
oh
change
yeah.
up.
Oh for sure.
For me, outside of me kind of calling Creighton rolling Baylor, that was a big one for me. I gotta say the
Yes.
game I enjoyed watching so much was that Furman Virginia game. Once again, the
Yes.
Cavaliers bowing out early, and we called it. We both were on Furman.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I thought that game was over because they just started chucking up threes there at the end, trying to get back in the game. And then, oh my gosh, Kihei Clark. I don't know what bro was
Oh
doing with that
no.
pass. So
Dude, in that situation, you gotta if you're throwing the ball, there's only one way to throw it, and it's up. It's up as high as you can possibly get that ball into the sky. Hit those rafters if you can. Hit those scoreboard. Like that was just a terrible, terrible decision. But can we talk about JP? I don't know how to pronounce it. Pegus something. That boy is water. What a crunch time shot, dude. Oh my God. He had a similar shot to that in high school as well on a game
oh,
winner. But man, he's got the ice in him, dude. Obviously, they went on to play San Diego State and got steamrolled. But I just want to touch on that. That was a fun game to watch, dude. That really was.
yeah. So like you mentioned here, San Diego State, that was another one I didn't really get to see on Saturday, sadly. San Diego State, they now have the top seed Alabama in the first round or in the Sweet 16 here. Alabama, we both had as our Final Four team from this region. Do you still think they are after going away with that 20-point win against Maryland? Are you still picking them, or you think the Aztecs should take them down?
I'm really confident. They're the only team in the whole tournament that's beat in both games that's won by 20 plus points, which is something I like to see. That means they don't care if they're playing down to their competition. They are going to put points on the board, and they're going to play that Alabama brand of basketball that they play. So in this game, I like Bama. I'm going to continue to ride with Bama. I do think San Diego State, if they have a chance to maybe slow that offense down, it's just I don't see it happening. So I'm a roll Tide.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. And then in the other matchup, Creighton, who I forget. I know you said they'd win their first game. Did you think they were going to beat Baylor or no? I can't remember.
I did.
Okay, so we both are also on Creighton in the Sweet 16, now taking on the Princeton Tigers. Do you think Princeton's Cinderella run continues? Does the shoes still fit, or are the Blue Jays breaking the glass?
I think, what a way to put that. The Blue Jays are breaking the glass. I think Creighton comes out. I think this is a game we could see Creighton steamroll Princeton, similar to a San Diego State Furman, 75-52. I could see a double-digit win here for Creighton.
All right. Well, looks like we're agreeing way too much this tournament. However, I mean, so far it's kind of worked out. The three regions
it's kind of been okay.
We still have those teams. Oh yeah, I agree. I like Creighton. Nemhard, Cockbrenner, they got some players who've been playing. Now, I think kind of the thing here with some of these 15 seeds is they catch the 7 by surprise, without the prep time. Well, Creighton's had a full week or like 4 days now to prep for them, so they should be fine. They should be chilling.
Yeah.
We still on Alabama over Creighton, or we like Creighton after what we've seen this first weekend?
I like Creighton. I think Creighton has a good chance. I think I'm still going to ride with my gut with where we started in Alabama in the Final Four, but I do think this game will be, like I said, Alabama's won both games by 20. I think that game against San Diego State will be a little bit closer. However, I think that game with Creighton will be less than double digits. So I think it could be like a 6 to 8 point game, but I'm still going to ride Roll Tide. I hope you ride Roll Tide as well.
Yeah, I'm going to. I mean, they haven't done anything so far to make me change that decision, as well as Creighton's played. Yes. But yeah, I think that could be a really good game. All right, moving on to the East. This is the region where we struggle a little bit. I had Duke. You were Marquette for your Final Four pick?
Yeah.
So both of us have lost our Final Four pick on Saturday and Sunday. But, I mean, the top story has to be Fairleigh Dickinson taking down Purdue.
Yeah, I think let's just skip the segment of both of our broom teams. It has to be that team that just surprised the world, just shocked the world in a crazy fashion. Jeez, man, I don't got much to say. I was left speechless when I watched that game, and still looking at that scoreboard, I'm pretty speechless.
Yeah, I mean, it was a close game at halftime, and our one coworker, Will, he came up this weekend to visit me, and we were sitting there in my living room watching the game. We had all 4 of them on at once, so it was a little hectic trying to follow each game. But I think it was like 11 or 13 minutes left, like lots of time still to go in the second half. We both just turned to each other and like, FDU's gonna win this game. Like, they were too small. Like, they just had such a good game plan to take down Zach Edey. They forced Purdue guards to shoot. And what a surprise, they weren't hitting. I mean, this is something we touched on. We thought that's how a team like Memphis could beat them. We did not think Fairleigh Dickinson. But now...
No, I did not.
Purdue obviously gets upset by 16. They lost to a 15 last year in St. Peter's. Granted, that was a Sweet 16 game, so they did win a couple games. And then year before that, lose to North Texas.
It's been a tough... I don't know how you turn that around. I don't know how, as a coaching staff member, you look and you get yes, you can get excited. I don't know how you can get up out of your bed and say, "Hey guys, it's time to go to work for next season," because that's got to be in your mind. You're seeing that all over social. All these huge, massive losses that Purdue just shouldn't be losing. Yes, I get it. These teams are making these Cinderella runs, but let's be honest. If you're a top 5 team in the country, you should beat any team that's not really top 20, top 25. These teams were 60, 61, 62, and you can't beat them. That's scary for Purdue as an overall organization. And long term, I think that matters in coaching. For sure it does. So
What
I
I'll
don't know
say
how to
about them,
pivot
Zach
and turn
Edey will be
around.
back. Zach Edey's going to be back.
Yes.
And last time we saw a 16 beat a 1. UMBC beat Virginia. Also, I think there's a lot of similarities between Purdue and Virginia, just like their program history as of
I was
late.
going to bring that up.
But then the next year after Virginia lost, they beat Purdue in a crazy Elite Eight game and then won the national title. So
That is true. I can see a turnaround for Purdue happen, similar to that, like you stated. The organizations have been really similar with kind of like the trajectory and their trends. So that would be interesting to see if Purdue could make like a similar run to that this upcoming year. So it'll be something I'll keep my eye on. However, I think Zach Edey is going to know going into next tournament that is going to be living rent-free in the back of his head. So that's my take on Purdue,
sure.
but
No,
they're still a great basketball team.
Well, flipping for that, my boom, obviously a kind of a 1B boom here. Going to a different Big Ten team, but one that could handle that pressure. Michigan State. Tom Izzo has the Spartans in his 16th Sweet 16. Right when, people were kind of starting to write off Michigan State. I mean, they had a bad loss to Ohio State in the Big Ten title game, or not title game, Big Ten tournament. I wasn't really super high on them coming in. I was like, all right, they can probably beat USC because USC's not very good. But I kind of thought that was the end of the road. Well, nope. They flipped the script. Shows why he's Mr. March. Spartans are moving on to the second weekend now where they draw K-State, who's been playing some really good basketball. So
Yes,
now
they have.
Unless you have anything to add, we'll move towards our predictions for this weekend. So, yeah, why don't we start there? We'll start K-State, Michigan State. I forget. I don't know. We didn't talk about, I guess, Sweet 16 picks. We just did first round. But I think we both are probably pretty confident that Kansas State would be there. Who do you like in that game?
Yep. I like Kansas State. Jerome Tang, I think he should be up there for Coach of the Year nominee. I love Keontae Johnson. That guy is a hooper. Let's talk about a guy who has just a story behind him. He collapsed on the floor. What was that? 2 years ago? Was that 2 years ago? 2021?
Either 2021 or like the 2020 season before like COVID and stuff.
For that, the COVID. Yeah. He's just got a miracle story. Not that makes him better than anybody else, but I think he's a dog. And Marquise Noel, oh my God, talk about just a bucket. When he reminds me so much of what's his name on? Oh my God, Malik Monk. Just a bucket getter. Just somebody who can go out there and get you a bucket when you need a bucket. So I like this Kansas State team. I love Michigan State though, and Tom Izzo though. So for this, it's such a hard pick for me. I have so much love for Tom Izzo, but I'm gonna roll K-State here, but not with much confidence. Not with super high confidence. I could see this game going either or. How about you, Derek? Where do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
who do you think's
because
coming out
Michigan
on
State's
top?
got some players themselves with A.J. Hoggard and Tyson Walker. It's some good guard play, and that's honestly what takes you far in March. So they could potentially put the Spartans on their back, but I don't know. I've been a big, as much as they kind of they weren't playing as well later in the season. I have been a big fan of K-State and watching them play this year. I think I'm gonna roll with them as well. And then the game here, the second game, one I did not see coming at all. Florida Atlantic, they squeak by Memphis potentially on a controversial call. Then they beat.
Controversial is an understatement.
Yeah, that was one. I was watching that, but that was like one of the ones I then went to a buddy's house, and they also had 4 TVs, but they didn't have the volume on. So, I saw it, but I was kind of like, I didn't have anything put on immediately. But that was a good game. But, yeah, we'll say that. And then they beat the Cinderellas, and they make some people unhappy. Going for that showboat dunk there at the end of the game. I think that I might have some people rooting for the Volunteers, but I don't know. The Volunteers just kind of beat up on Duke. We're playing, not like dirty, but definitely a very physical game. And the refs kind of let them get away with it.
Physical game for sure.
So who are you liking?
Let them get away with a lot.
Yeah. So who are you liking in the FAU Tennessee game?
I like Tennessee here. I would like to actually see FAU move on. I like this kind of. They seem to be the Memphis Grizzlies of this current tournament right now.
Oh God.
As just those bad boys. I kind of like that. However, I think Tennessee, like you stated, against Duke, they were physical. The refs let them get away with a lot. I think we'll continue to see that in this game between FAU So I'm going to roll Tennessee here pretty confidently, I think. But God, would I like to see FAU win? I would like to see FAU win, but the match play is definitely Tennessee.
All right, well, here's one we're split on. I'm going with the Owls. I just want to see absolute craziness in this region now. I mean, they're the highest remaining, outside of Princeton, obviously, they're the highest remaining seed. But they're a team that's won 30 games on the year, so I mean they have the capability to win games. They've won all year. I'd like to see them keep winning. I'd like to see them make a deep run. Also, just in fact that, like I said, both our Final Four predictions from this region are eliminated. And in most bracket pools, I definitely could use FAU going to the Final Four, going crazy, as opposed to people getting points from a Kansas State or a Tennessee. So, might be a little bit of heart over head pick here, but I'm going to go with the Owls.
All right, we're split up. I like that.
And then K-State, FAU. Who's going to be, or not K-State, Tennessee for you. Who's going to be your Final Four team, your new Final Four team out of this region?
Wow, my new Final Four team. Give me Kansas State. Give me Kansas State. God, I hate Tennessee because they beat up on Duke. So give me Kansas State. How about you? Kansas State, FAU.
I think I just have to go all in. I honestly might put a future on them to win the region or something. Give me the Owls, man. I just want this is March. This is March. I just want absolute craziness. I think it'd be a lot of fun to see a team like that kind of slept on this year, unless you really are following college basketball on close to a daily basis. That you probably didn't know much about FAU. So I think a team like that, even though despite maybe their little bit bad boyness, America could get behind.
Yes, I could see it.
All right, so then switching over to the Midwest side of the bracket here. This was the most chalk out of the four regions, with the top three seeds in Houston, Texas, and Xavier all advancing. And then 5 seed Miami took down Indiana in the round of 32. But what was your big boom team or game from this region so far?
For me, it would have to be nothing super surprising, but I was shocked at how Pittsburgh came out against Iowa State. They mopped the floor against Iowa State. There was a point in time I was watching this game where I believe Pittsburgh was up 22-4 on the side.
They were up 15-0 right there or something.
It started out 15-0, and then I think the largest lead it got to was 22-4, and that is bad if you're any team entering March Madness. I don't care if you're a 1 seed or a 16 seed. You're down 18 plus points with 12 minutes to go in the first. You dug yourself a hole that you simply just cannot get out of, no matter who's playing for you. It was good to see Pittsburgh steamroll them in that one. So that definitely caught my eye, because I thought that game would be a close game, like a 1 or 2 point game for sure when looking at these brackets when they were first released on Selection Sunday. So after seeing them walk the floor with Iowa State, I thought they had a good chance to compete with Xavier, and they did, but they never really pulled ahead at any point in the game. They didn't lead, and Xavier kind of maintained control. But for that first round of 64, Pitt is definitely my boom team. That surprised me in the fashion that they did.
Yeah, then sadly they kind of got their poop wrecked on Sunday. That's probably the game I watched the most. And I was kind of hoping to be competitive, but yeah, I mean, Xavier, solid squad. Yeah, I mean, pretty chalk region. Penn State, they were shooting the lights out of the ball against Texas A&M, and then, gave Texas a run for their money. I guess for me, it'd probably be Miami. That Miami-Indiana game, obviously I was cheering for the Hoosiers. My dad went to Indiana. But Isaiah Long was hooping. And I got to give you credit. I remember it was I forget what episode it was, but it was around a month to 2 weeks before Selection Sunday. Our two dark horse teams we thought could make a run. I was Indiana, you were Miami. Miami beat Indiana.
They played each other.
I gotta give you some credit for that. 1 point for the Matt
counter over here.
And I know now I think my favorite from that video, I forget who yours was. Mine was Kansas, and they're out. So you're doing better than me.
No, I don't think so. Mine was, if I'm not mistaken, was Kentucky. And, yeah, they're out too. So at least they got a little further. But
Gotcha. But, yeah, so we'll just move on here. Like I said, pretty chalk region. Not a whole lot to talk about. who are we like? We'll start with Xavier, Texas, since that's the game I think we were all on. Who we like there?
Overall, I'll be honest, I don't think I can name a single player on Xavier's roster. So this might be just a biased pick, but I like Texas in this spot. I don't know enough about Xavier. Maybe that's just lack of research, lack of care,
guy.
No.
Jack Mundy?
I'm gonna go Texas here. Yeah, you're naming names to me that they could be fictional characters in a video game. I don't know. Give me Texas here, but yeah, I don't really care to see either advance, but I'll go Texas here. Give me Texas.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I do know a little bit more about Xavier, and I think they could definitely make it a game. But I also like the Longhorns. Plus, I kind of forgot Longhorns were our both pick to make it out of the Final Four in this region. So, and then the other game,
they were
Houston against Miami. Who do you like here?
Give me Isaiah Wong in Miami, baby. Isaiah Wong has just been doing it all. He's been a little inconsistent, not through the tournament, but a little prior towards the end of the year. A little inconsistency I've seen out of him. So that scares me a little bit, but I like Isaiah Wong. As great as Houston is with Marcus Sasser and Juwan Roberts, they're good and they've been great. Houston's always great, but Houston always just seems to me to slip in spots like this, like 1 against a 5. I could see Houston falling in this game. Give me Miami, Florida.
All right, we're going to be split on this one. This, again, might also just be a little bit of a pick where it's like in my pool it would help me out if Houston won. But I'm going to go with them. Like you mentioned, Sasser been playing well. I mean,
Sasser's a dog.
They rolled Auburn. Granted, I kind of said in that first episode I wasn't really super high on Iowa or Auburn. But I do like Houston, how they're playing. So I'm going to go Houston, Texas. You're on Miami, Texas. Like I said, we both had Texas our Final Four team. Do we still think that's the case, or are you going with Miami instead?
Give me Texas as the Final Four. I'll ride with my gut with Bama up there in the top, in the South, and the Midwest. Give me Texas in the Midwest, Bama in the South. What about you? You riding with Texas still?
Welcome Horns, baby. I'm also going with the Longhorns. Could age poorly.
Let's go. Let's go.
I agree. Those are definitely the two I'm most confident in, is Texas and Alabama to still make it out of their regions. I mean, yeah, Texas just has so many players like Sir Jabari Rice and Marcus Carr. Just a lot of hoopers for Texas. I think they can carry him on. And then here, the regional, I think this is going to be the most fun regional out of all of them. The West.
I agree.
Like we talked about Kansas, they got a tough draw having to go to Vegas instead of Kansas City. Well, it didn't matter. They're not going to Vegas either. They get upset by the Muss-Bus in Arkansas. Then they're up against Dan Hurley leading his UConn Huskies. And then we got a rematch of the 2021 Final Four Classic between Gonzaga and UCLA. But going back to last weekend, what was your boom team or game from last weekend?
And this out of the bracket, it was probably...
I'll start in this one. How about?
I'd probably go Arkansas. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, that game...
Muss-Bus.
Third straight Sweet 16 appearance for him. Takes down a number 1 seed in back-to-back years. That was probably the game, or at least the end, that I was watching the closest on Saturday. Because, like I said, we got back from our event. All my roommates were passed out on the couch, and I was like, yo, this is a good game. I got to stay up. I got to watch it. I literally came in my room here to watch the end of it. And, yeah, the Hogs, man, they just find a way to win in March. So
they just find a way to win, dude. Devontae Davis is a stud, man. He is a stud.
Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot else to add. I mean, it was just kind of one of those where it was like classic March Madness game, like back and forth, punch, counter punch. I'll give the Arkansas credit because, I mean, a lot of Kansas games I watched this year would be close, especially in the Big 12, but just kind of down the stretch, the other team would fade and Kansas would put them to bed. Arkansas didn't. They stayed right there. I mean, what a scene after they Musselman taking his shirt off. I forgot about that. But, yeah, just so, again, Arkansas team.
Oh, my God. Yeah, can we touch on that for a second? What a great coach. If I'm a player on that team, I'm fired up after I see that, dude. I am just fired up. That is awesome, man.
It was. So, yeah, we'll go on here because, yeah, I mean, other than that, really was a pretty chalky region as well. TCU hit a backdoor cover buzzer beater on Sunday night that I fell asleep for. But, I mean, that was a good game. But, yeah, Zags pulled out, Drew Timme leading the way. So, yeah, why don't we start there? We'll start with there. We'll go Gonzaga, UCLA. Like I said, rematch of that Final Four Classic a couple years ago where Jalen Suggs hits the buzzer beater. Obviously, he's gone, but Drew Timmy's still there. Jaime Jaquez is still there for UCLA. So there's some bad blood between these teams a little bit, I think. And who are you liking?
There is.
Who are you liking to take?
I think overall, I think this is the best game of the Sweet 16. I don't know enough about Xavier. People will say Texas Xavier maybe, but I'm going Gonzaga, UCLA. I like Gonzaga in this spot. Give me Drew Timme. I'm on the Timme train. Give me the fifth-year senior. There's a chance that he also has there's also a chance that if he doesn't want to move on from Gonzaga next year, he can come back to Gonzaga next year. I love that. Give me Drew Timme and the Zags. I like UCLA a lot. But something about this Gonzaga team, they're always a 1 or 2. When you see them at the 3 seed, anything lower, that scares me. They're underrated. They're undervalued. I love Gonzaga in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Kansas State is underdogs? According to CBS Sports, really? Kansas State is plus 1.5. But this game is also a 1.5 point spread between UCLA and Gonzaga. I like that take. I mean, 8:45 on Thursday. So, I mean, probably by the time we get out tonight. Yep. I mean, I think this is going to be the game of these first 2 days at least for sure. But I'm going the other way. I'm sticking with the Bruins, who we went with originally out of the first weekend predictions. I think, like I said, I think they're a better team. Like you were mentioning, Gonzaga's not as good
all around.
Yeah, I think they're a more spread out team. Like I said, I think Jaime Jaquez and some of those guys, Tiger Campbell. They're gonna want some revenge.
Tiger Campbell's there.
So I think they're gonna get it. And then the other game, the Muss Bus and the Huskies. What are we thinking here?
I like UConn here. It's just sad to see the Muss Bus train die, possibly, but I'm gonna die on that hill. Give me UConn Huskies. Their senior guard Tristan Newton, he does it all on the floor. Ball handling, he's a crazy court vision as a passer, averaging almost seven assists, I believe, throughout the tournament, which is crazy high. And their forward, Adam Sanogo, or however.
Yeah, Adama Sanogo.
I'm bad with names.
Oh,
yeah, that guy. He's a beast, dude. He's just a big boy in there. He's a powerful option in the front court for them as well, which helps them overall. I like UConn in this spot. As much as I do want to see Arkansas just keep going, I want to see Musselman take his shirt off one more time, but I'm going to go UConn. I'm going to play it safe and go with the Huskies. They're one of my favorite teams, so I like UConn in this spot.
Yeah, no, I'm going to agree with you here. That's another team that they've just kind of rolled through their opponents. Like they pretty solid win against Iona, and then just St. Mary's had no chance.
St. Mary's, yeah.
Like you mentioned, I like their big in Sanogo. I think he can have a really good game here.
Sanogo.
Yeah, no, there's some fun. There's the big men out there in college basketball have some fun names. So
got some fun names, yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Huskies as well. So then you're on UConn Gonzaga going against the original pick of UCLA. So
UCLA, yeah.
Who's your new team?
New team in the Final Four in the West. Give me the UConn Huskies.
I like that.
Taking UConn.
How about
you're going?
Well, see, originally
UCLA,
I was honestly,
UConn.
if there's a team I would switch to, it would be UConn. But for the sake of, I'm not gonna switch up. I'm gonna stand by the Bruins. They're a team even before March that I like.
You calling me fake?
No, I'm not saying. Hey,
I'm switching up.
To each their own. To each their own. No, like I said, I was thinking about switching up with you, but we need some more diversity here. We need to butt heads a little bit more on this show. We agree too much.
Yeah, exactly.
We need JJ back. We need a third person in here to kind of butt heads with us because the two of us are just like, oh yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna butt heads with you a little bit here. I'm gonna stick with the Bruins. I'm gonna rock with my squad. So yeah. So now my new Final Four now is Alabama, FAU, Texas, and UCLA. Yours is Alabama, K-State, Texas, and UConn. So
UConn, yes sir. We're split up a little bit. Now I like it.
I like it too. You still going Alabama as your national champion?
If UConn can get over Texas, give me UConn. Now if Bama plays Texas, I'll take Bama. But if UConn can get past Texas, give me the Huskies. How about you? What's yours looking like?
All right, so that's fine. All right, I'll give you. Honestly, we might have to go with some bet here. I'll
it's
give you the
early.
field. If it gets to next weekend and it's Alabama, whoever, UConn, and Texas, I'll give you the field and I'll take Texas. And we'll have to come with some sort of bet.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll do something on the show or something. Perfect.
For sure. All right, so March Madness kind of wraps it up there. Anything else in the sports world you want to talk about? And we've had some NFL free agency going. We've had World Baseball Classic. Anything you want to touch on here to wrap up the show, Matt?
Let's touch on last night. World Baseball Classic. Japan comes out with the win. Can we talk about a better ending to a World Baseball Classic game than what we got?
Scripted. Had to be
Can
scripted.
we? Like, it had to be scripted, dude. Imagine if the two played on the same team, too.
Oh, that'd be
That would
crazy. They'd win the World Series every year.
So literally, dude.
Definitely would not
That
always
was a
miss the
great
playoffs.
way to end it. No, it's
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there were so many people on Twitter beefing oh, these games don't matter. Why MLB players playing it? They were so much fun to watch. I'm gonna be honest. Yes, I obviously was watching March Madness over the World Baseball Classic, and even the first rounds, unless it was I'd maybe throw it on late at night, but I wasn't locked into every Team USA game. But I mean, in any tournament, when you get to these knockout stages with countries, nationalities on the line here, so much country pride, you're gonna watch. There's nothing else to really watch the past couple nights unless you're a big NIT enjoyer or something. So
yeah,
I mean, heck of a game. Obviously, wish it went the U.S.'s way, but yeah, I mean, I'm so ready for baseball to start. I hope we are going to talk a bunch of baseball on this show this year.
Oh, be ready, people! Baseball is coming. What do we have? 8 days until opening day. 8 days.
Yeah, by the time this drops, it's going to be a week. So.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we're talking baseball. You know what? We'll even try to maybe put out another episode with you guys maybe sometime before opening day for baseball. We can give you guys some just kind of where our heads are lying, some pre-AL favorites, NL favorites, just a little bit. Talk about some divisions and whatnot. But yeah, I'm excited for baseball, dude. That World Baseball Classic got me excited. I didn't watch much like you said, but that final against Japan, what a way to end the game. Full count, Mike Trout. What a pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What a pitch.
Heck of an ending.
But, yeah.
All right, and then, like I said, NFL free agency. Give me, a boom team. Give me a boom team or player, a signing you've liked from this past couple of bit.
Give me the Detroit Lions. C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I think he secures and helps up lock down that secondary now. The Lions are looking really good. They're making a lot of small moves overall, but I think they're doing it in a good time, knowing that division is kind of crumbling within. The Bears are rebuilding, but the Vikings seem to be selling off everybody on their defense. Rodgers, we don't know if he's a Packer, a Jet, retired, or on ayahuasca. Who knows with that guy?
All the above.
But, yeah, literally, select the box at the bottom. Option E, all the above. It's always the right answer. So, yeah, I think this is a great time for Detroit. I really think they, in my opinion, they're the favorites to come out the North. How about you? Any free agency signing or anything that caught your eye?
I like the Panthers. The Panthers are making some good moves. Signing Miles Sanders and then, Adam Thielen and Hayden Hurst. So giving probably C.J. Stroud some weapons, giving him a solid running back. And like I've kind of already touched on in previous episodes, that's a very wide open division. So I like the Panthers. I also sneaky trade guy I think could have a bounce back year. The Giants getting Darren Waller.
I like that.
He's a guy I've always been pretty high on in fantasy. Kind of a down year last year. But I think, obviously they re-signed Daniel Jones. If he can kind of keep going on the trajectory he's going, having a weapon like Waller is going to be huge for him.
Oh, 100%. Quickly, I want to just touch on the hometown favorite real quick. Atlanta Falcons. I think we've been making sneaky moves in the South. The South is up for grabs. That division is poverty along with the NFC North and the AFC South. Those three divisions are bottom of the barrel. So I think the Falcons are making good moves right now to put us in a position that we could be racing for that division as long as that quarterback holds up. Sign Taylor Heineke as a backup. I really like that. I think he deserves a starting job in my eyes, or at least to compete for one come this offseason. So we signed David Animata. We got Jesse Bates from the Bengals. That was a big pickup. Jonnu Smith, another big tight end. Mac Hollins, a huge receiver. We're just building a bunch of giants over here, and I like it. I like what Atlanta's doing. So just wanted to touch on them real quick. I think we're making sneaky moves. So Yeah, other than that, NFL-wise, got Jalen Ramsey
Yeah,
to
that was
Miami.
my
Wow.
hometown. Wish the
Wow.
Steelers would have traded for him, especially that return. So
Yeah.
good trade for the Dolphins
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
I think
Other
that's
than
gonna
that,
wrap it up for this one. Unless you got anything else for the people, Matt.
No, other than Baker Mayfield's the next Tom Brady. No, I think I can leave it off with that.
I mean, if the only time you'd ever watch Baker Mayfield was the last 2 minutes of that Rams Raiders game, I guess you could think that, but
That's all I watched. So,
Oh, okay.
He's the next Brady.
fair enough. Yeah, that and a lot of NFC South. I don't think there's a podcast that talks more NFC South than us.
Let's go. We love it, dude. Come on now.
Well, if you love NFC South content, baseball, March Madness, pretty much anything sports, drop a like and subscribe, please. And what else should they do, Matt? What else should they do while they're down there?
Can you guys please turn on the notifications? Turn on the Noti bell? That would be phenomenal. Noti gang, where you at? Come on.
That would be
More
great.
comments.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Tell us-
more comments.
Tell
Anything,
us I'm looking
bro.
fugly. Tell me my take on Kansas State was god awful.
Make fun of him
Please,
for not
somebody.
knowing any Xavier players.
Literally, for calling that UConn, whatever, or not that UConn player, that one player, I don't even know his name. Roast me in the comments. Come on, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Turn the noties on. And just text something in the comments. Just ask how our day's going. We'll respond. I'll ask how yours is going. Might even send you like $1 on Cash App. for
Oh
dropping
my
a comment.
gosh.
Who knows?
Man of the
Who
people
knows?
over here.
Come on, guys.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys could do all those things Matt has requested you, it's really not that much. It shouldn't take you more than 10 seconds, but if you could do it, it'd be greatly appreciated. And we will see everyone in the next one, baby. Peace.